For all their talk about oppression, women sure are quick to give up their guns. How the hell are they expected to defend themselves against the evil white patriarchy? That is why a vote against guns is a vote against women. Can you smell the irony? This is a perfect shirt for protests, hell, for family reunions. Available only at invisiblehandfashion.com. Please use the promo code SpaceGhost for 10% off your first order. Link is in the description, bitches. Ladies, I got more bad news for you, if you can believe that. And dudes, I know you can. Last week we talked about how feminism tricked you into wasting all of your sexual market value. Not only did they trick you into wasting it, this is even better. They fooled you into thinking that you still had it. That's a double hoodwink with a kick to the box. And on the side, that cup of clam chowder. Screen 5. This battle of the sexes, it's not just a battle, it's a goddamn war. But, and you know how I love to say but, you can win every single battle and still lose the war. You get to decide who you're gonna fuck, but we decide who we marry. And it's not you. Your most valuable asset to a man who's willing to write a check against it is your fertility. Here's the funny thing about fertility. It's a perishable asset, and it ages like milk, not wine. Eggs are eggs, ladies. You can leave them in the refrigerator forever, but sooner or later, they're gonna fucking spoil. And feminism has convinced you to throw your most valuable asset away like it was nothing. What else do you have? Oh, that's right, money. And you're stupid with that too. Seriously, ladies, between fertility and money, is there anything out there that you actually understand? And with that being said, this episode is going to be heavy on your favorite thing, or wait a minute, my favorite thing, math. So please pour yourself a menagerie of booze, because you're going to get twisted, and I'm going to need it. Yeah. In order to get myself fully into the feminist mindset, I'm gonna have to bring my IQ down 30 points, and booze just isn't gonna cut it. If you'll excuse me, I gotta make the appropriate adjustments. Thank you. I think I'm just about there. Wait a minute. Rape culture is real. Feminist ideals usually set in between 16 and 24 for a reason. Because at that point, you really don't know shit about the world, you're a mess of hormones, and you're ripe for the picking. So what happens? You go to one of these 4-year, 5-year liberal indoctrination centers called a college, and you take your front row center seat on the crazy train. They force you to sit through a year of social science. And I use some quotes because it's neither social nor is it science. It is brainwashing, flat out from start to finish, and it's complete bullshit. Any program that preaches to you that something is true when clearly it is not, it is scientifically disproven and observably disproven. You can't call it anything else other than propaganda, brainwashing, and bullshit. Oh, and top of that, you paid for it.
You're fucking a white male!
I understand your resistance, truly I do. It is really hard to admit that you were this monumentally stupid.
Shut the fuck up!
In today's day and age, when you can fact check everything you were taught in school while you're taking a shit, and you don't do that, that is willful ignorance, and it's 100% on you.
You idiots.
And the only other option really is not that much more attractive. You are an intellectual infant, and you should not have been in college in the first place because you're an easy mark and they saw you coming. And the worst part is, they were counting on it and they welcomed you in with open arms. Because without useful idiots, feminism would have died out decades ago. I have a special nickname for these types of people. I call them can't understand normal thinkers. And that's an acronym. I think you can figure it out. Honestly, gentlemen, I am going to ask you flat out, is there a better description for these people? I think not. They swallow this bullshit like the greedy whores that they are, and then they say men like you and me, we're the problem.
Men should grow up.
Yeah, and dogs should stop licking themselves. It's not gonna happen.
And that is how feminism gets them to buy into this. They basically tell them they're not responsible for anything bad that went on in their life. It's not your fault that you can't balance a checkbook. It's not your fault you're living in debt because you want your friends to think you have money. Oh no, you had nothing to do with that, even though all of those credit cards are in your name, and I bet you all the signatures on those checks are yours.
Ignore her. She's on acid.
Feminism is telling these ladies to go ahead and swim in a whole pond of clam chowder and be raging whores because it's empowering. Because that is the one thing that men have that they don't, right? Goddamn lunatics! Feminism has also convinced these ladies not to have children when they're young, and it makes sense. Even if you don't have those kids, go out, have fun, spend your money, live for today. And if you're lucky enough to have a man, spend his money too. And if he resists, divorce him, take half his shit, and spend that anyway.
Need my apartment key back.
If you're breaking up with me, can we at least talk about it first?
Maybe if you weren't all nag and no shag.
You find a guy. He's willing to bring all the money to the table, invite all of his friends and family, and stand up on an altar of God and tell everyone he will take care of you forever. How many times do you think that's gonna happen in your life? Newsflash for you ladies, if you think you're gonna get divorced at 38 and it's gonna be just like it was when you were 28, you're out of your goddamn mind. At that point, you've gone far beyond being a can't understand normal thinker. In fact, you are so far off the reservation, you are delusional and you need some medication. Don't you think it's funny that feminists say, hey, I don't need a man. I need a man like a fish needs a bicycle. But when a man says, I'm not providing for you, they shame you. Newsflash, bitches, you can't have it both ways, and that's why a lot of you aren't getting married. But, and I know how you love it when I start in with but, huh? None of this matters. It'll be over before it even begins. This is like a fart in the car with the windows down. You know it stinks, but by the time you detect it, it's over. After 40, feminism isn't gonna give two shits about you anymore. You're done. And while you're living the rest of your sorry-ass downward spiral life, you're gonna fall back on that last excuse feminism has taught you. No matter how shitty your life is, no matter how lonely you are because no one will touch you, no matter how much your house stinks of cat piss and shit, no matter how poor you have to live before you finally dart into the grave, none of it's your fault. In fact, if you're watching this and you're a feminist, you're probably thinking it's my fault, and I don't even fucking know you. I didn't make you spend all that money you could have been saving for retirement. I didn't make you break up with Mike because he didn't want to go to college and you did. I wasn't doing CPR on Steve's ass while he was banging you while you were cheating on Mike. I didn't tell you to ride the cock carousel until the dick stacking platform was 1,000 feet in the air. I'm the one that's been telling you that all of the bullshit feminism is teaching you isn't taking you anywhere good. And what was your response?
Right, well, nobody has to save you because you're a fucking white man who gets to do whatever he wants to in this space, right?
All white people are racist, all men are misogynistic, all cisgender people are transphobic.
Fucking aliens, they're fucking parasites, they're fucking soulless monsters.
Take your privilege somewhere else, please.
And I also did not tell you to go out and spend all your money that you should have been saving for retirement. Because if you did save that money, you wouldn't be on a one-way freight train to Section 8 and cat food. In fact, let me know how that shit tastes. Does it put the frisky in your cat? Screen 5. No one else is putting any frisky in that pussy, I'm just saying.
Yeah, eating it and then...
Well, if I was hungry and the cat food was there, I'd eat it.
I'm just saying, ladies, if you went from a dildo to a vodka bottle and now you're still not satisfied, that's too many cocks. At that point, you might as well just rub some warm bologna on it and be just as useless, but at least after the fact, you can make a sandwich.
What happens when Uncle Nick goes back to college? He pretty much rips his liberal professors and feminist classmates a new one via the essays he hands in on various academic topics. The kind of shit you can't get away with today in the gynocentric cauldron. Purchase Burning the Midnight on Amazon.com today. A link is in the description.
With that image fresh in your minds, we're gonna go into the economic differences between men and women. We're gonna start off here with something that affects everyone, race, color, and creed, and that is age. No matter how fast you run, that clock is always a second faster. And he's faster than your plastic surgeon, ladies. So keep dreaming. When men and women are 18, you are basically as indestructible as you are ever going to be. Men's medical costs from 18 to the age of 40 are next to nothing.
All right, turn your head and cough.
Hey, get the fuck away from me, bro. Now, women's medical costs are still relatively low, but they are higher than dudes. They gotta get the waxworks checked out basically every 6 months from 13 to the time they die. But if they go the non-feminist route and start having kids at 21, 22, they pull the pin on the money grenade because that shit gets crazy expensive and crazy fast. And this pattern goes on till basically 45. And at that age, you get a flip-flop. At 45, women go through the thing called menopause, and that shit slows down monumentally. Dudes, they gotta start getting a finger in the ass. No homo.
Keep talking. I'll finish your exam with a prostate check.
Now keep in mind, we're just talking about average costs here. We're not even throwing cancer or anything crazy into the mix. Everyone needs some Tylenol, especially if you have kids, and those kids are daughters. Space Coast. You have one son, you only gotta worry about one penis. You have one daughter, you gotta worry about 3.5 billion penises. And I'm not even gonna get into sisters and them having Eskimo brothers. I just wanna throw up. And you know what else makes me want to throw up? Bad habits. And those cost a hell of a lot more than $7 a pack. Let's boil down the math here. For the worst case scenario of a smoker. Cigarettes cost $8 a pack. In some states more, some states less. But you smoke a pack every day for 30 years. You want to know how much that costs? Buckle up, pick up your shot, because this is gonna hurt. $87,600. And if you're a 2-pack a day smoker, figure it out yourself. Let's say you get the big C word. You get yourself to cancer and you gotta go into the knife.
Oh my God! Ah! Ah!
And these numbers don't even reflect the ever-escalating costs of medical care thanks to Obama and his Affordable Care Act. Fuck him, fuck you. You can keep your doctor and Space Coast. You're gonna have to go into the knife. Not even my knife, the expensive one, surgeon's knife. And that's gonna run you $56,000. And then they're gonna pump you full of poison, and they call that chemo. And it'll go into remission or be cured, and then it comes back and you gotta get it again. End result is usually always the same. You pull a dirt dart, jump into the coffin, 11 grand to put you in the dirt. But hey, there's a bright side to this. Somebody's gonna put a lit cigarette in the tray coal while you're in the box, because I would do it. Bottom line, we're still talking about a cost of over 280 grand for a smoker, male or female, or why don't we just boil it down to idiot. Ladies, if you have an oral fixation and you just have to put something in your mouth, there is a healthy alternative, I'm just saying.
You know, I happen to have a position available on my penis. Wait a second. I think I screwed up that joke.
I'm sure you have a dozen men orbiting you like Pussnick that can help you out with that. Oh, that's right. You don't want to give it to the guys in the friend zone. You want to give it to the alpha male out there. All 500 of them, screen 5. I want you to realize that your idea of the alpha male is the dude who just doesn't give a fuck about you. Let that slosh around a bit in your downstairs mix-up, and then we can talk about the inferior sex. Screen 5. But you want to attract those alpha males? You gotta doll yourself up, and that costs yet more money. And I call that vanity, and the Bible calls that a deadly sin. Space Ghost. First, we're gonna talk about dudes and their vanity. And why are they first? Because this is not gonna take that long at all. What do we do to doll ourselves up on average? Get a haircut, shave, and wash, and that's about it. And you could take all of those costs, ball them all together in a 50-year chunk, and it's still not gonna be more than 10 grand. But hey, you wanna talk about vanity? You just live with a woman. Before my sister and her spawn moved into my house, I had my own bathroom. In that bathroom, Head and Shoulders, bar of soap, razors and shaving cream, and that was it. My sister moves in. 8 different types of fucking shampoo, 4 different conditioners, 3 different types of razors, 2 different types of shaving cream, 3 different types of fucking toothpaste, 2 different goddamn fucking mouthwashes, 4 different brands of goddamn tampons, 2 different brands of fucking toilet paper, 2 different kinds of fucking wet naps, 1 for the bottom and 1 for the top. It is insane. I can't fucking believe it. I walk in there and I'm like, this is my toothbrush. What the fuck? They even pulled up my friction tape on the fucking bottom of the tub. It hurt my feet. You don't fall down. You have sore feet or you have a broken neck. What is it gonna be? But hey, enough about my life. We're gonna talk about math. Let's compare haircuts, shall we? A dude, he will go to the place that has the white and red ribbon around it and pay right around $12 for a haircut, and it'll take him about 6 to 12 minutes. But women, they'll have more hair, unless they're a feminist. They go into the hairstyle place, and that's an all-day goddamn affair. Not only that, but that day of bullshit's gonna run you $52. That's $52 per cut, and they do that every month. That's $624 a year. Over the course of just 1 year, over the course of 50 years, you're talking $31,000. They're not even done. That's just the hair. Now they have to deal with the oval above their shoulders. Now that's gonna run you an additional $400 a year just on makeup. And after that, they gotta get the goddamn mani and pedi, and don't let them tell you they don't do that because there's one on every corner. Especially if you go to the hood, and it's usually right next to the weave shop. Does it get dark in here? And that mani-pedi is gonna run you $32 a pop. No pun intended. And they do that once a month. And over the course of 50 years, that'll run them $19,200. Jesus Christ, I need to drink. So what does this mean? Over a 50-year time frame, a woman will spend over $70,000 on her hair, makeup, and nails. That, my friends, is a college education spent on vanity. But we're the shallow ones. Space Coast. Before we go any further, please Google it, Bing it, Yahoo it, because that's how I got these numbers. And did you hear that? We're just talking about her hair, face, and nails. We haven't even got into clothes yet. But since we're on the subject, fuck it, we're doing that one too. Men hate shopping. In fact, I made a video about it. Here it is. Check it out. And we especially hate shopping for clothes. Oh my God. And that is why, on average, we spend about $30 a month on clothes. That's it. Over a whole lifetime, it's gonna cost us roughly 18 grand. Women spend on average $98 a month on clothes. Over 50 years, that is $58,600. And that is a master's degree. But hey, I'm a pig because I like big tits and red hair, or Mexicans, just saying. But hey, you gotta keep all that makeup and clothes somewhere, and you gotta keep your carcass, safe from the elements, and you gotta have a place to fornicate. You need a house. Now, the average price of a home today is $250,000, and that number is based off of the 2010 census data. If you're a dude and you buy a house for $250K, it's gonna run you roughly $560,000 in total costs over a 30-year period with that particular 30-year fixed mortgage. And as a dude, y'all know, if you own something, you gotta maintain it. And roughly, the cost of that maintenance is gonna be 10% of the value of the home. So at the end of the day, as a dude, after 30 years, you're spending $585,000 on that house. Now, let's add a woman to that equation. I need a shot and a beer for this one. You got the same house, the same mortgage, and the same repairs. So you're coming in at $585,000 right off the bat. But, and here we go, ladies, here we go. Not only are you going to repair the house because that's what it needs, you're gonna borrow against its value to do the upgrades because that's what you want. You notice what I just did there, right? I said needs and wants. There's a big difference there, isn't there? By and large, men do what they need to do, and women do what they want to do because they were raised that they deserve it, right? And this is the big thing that feeds into the Cudge factor. You know, keeping up with the Joneses, or if there's a weave shop on the corner, keeping up with Jamal. Housing is just the beginning because we're talking about a difference of 75 grand here for this particular Cudge factor.
What's in this for you?
This is what men do for the women they pretend to love.
Next comes cars and vacations, and these numbers are gonna go so off the rails, you're gonna need a shot. First, we're gonna talk about cars, because in today's day and age, you wanna get from point A to point B. It's not a sex thing, but you need a car. Actually, you do need a car for sex, just saying. Average cost for car, $25K, and a dude will keep that car 8 to 10 years. I went with 10. We will drive that thing until the wheels fall off, and then we'll keep driving it till the cops pull you over and they're like, yo, it's smoking, it's on fire, you need to give it up. But a woman, she'll trade that car in every 5 years. Why do you ask?
Because her friend Mary got something new and she got tired of driving it.
And what does that laziness equate to? Double the costs over a lifetime. $125K for dudes, $250K for chicks. And gentlemen, the cost of the maintenance is built into this because women, they will ignore the check engine light until the car explodes.
Honey, my car exploded. I think it was a mob hit.
What? Was the check engine light? Did it come on or anything?
I think so.
Oh, you're just an idiot. It wasn't a mob hit. Gentlemen, if you thought the Cudge factor was bad for cars, you better get ready because this one for vacations is gonna blow your socks off, and not in a good way. Like I said, men do what they have to do. And this is where that price break comes in handy. You have to sleep. But there is no law that says you have to sleep in a 4-star hotel. There is no law that says you have to sleep in a tent or in your car. You just have to sleep. And there also is no law that says you have to take a vacation twice a year either. And that's why dudes take a vacation every 3rd year, because shit happens, and so does life. And most of the time, these vacations, they're not really planned.
Hey, Pop, I got 2 plane tickets for free from a radio station. We're going to Mardi Gras. Do you want to see some titties?
Fucking yeah, I do. I'll get the beads.
Winning!
All right! All titties aside, big ones, small ones, floppy ones, the ones that wrap around your head, dudes will usually spend right around $1,000 per vacation. And since we go only every 3rd year, over the course of 50 years, we spend less than 20 grand. But then, there's this weird phenomena that happens. What is it? Oh, that's right, it's called marriage. Pussy and children, and oh my God! If you told a woman we're only going on vacation every 3rd year, she would divorce you! She doesn't even want to go once a year. She wants to do something twice a year for the family. And it's gonna cost you roughly $3,000 every time. Everything becomes monumentally more expensive when you drag the slot C into it. I'm just saying. And over the course of 50 years, wait a minute, I'm gonna throw up again. That is $300,000. That is a house and 2 cars. And that is the reality of the Cudge factor. It's all about them posting on Instagram and Facebook and sending the postcards and bragging to their friends and family. But that's not how they sell it to you. This is how it's gonna come across.
Oh, but we're buying memories. And memories are priceless, right?
No. You wanna know what priceless is? Whores! Because they leave Space Coast. And you know what? You would be able to retire even sooner, dudes, if you just spent all this on whores. I did an episode about it. Check it out. You could get yourself a decent-looking escort once a week for the rest of your life, and it wouldn't even touch this number.
You want to look at vaginas? There are websites for that.
Think I made him money?
And what is the end result of this goddamn stupid feminist mindset? A mindset that tells these women to spend all their money and dispose of all their men. Despite the fact that these women are raking these dudes through the coals in divorce court and taking half of their shit, these men are still retiring at 2 times of the value a woman has. And you want to know why that is, ladies? Because you're stupid and you can't understand normal thinkers. You fail to realize this one simple fact. If you find a man who's willing to write a check against you and take care of you for the rest of your life, you have won the lottery. But hey, that's not good enough. You want half of that good man shit and a better man down the road. Newsflash for you, ladies. That better man, he's already taken, and he doesn't want anything to do with a bitch like you. In fact, he wants a younger model because you were stupid and got divorced at 38 and you thought you were gonna keep dating like you were 28. You won the lotto, but you wanted the lump sum. You wanted to live for today. And you were so stupid you thought, I can win it twice. What? You are so deluded that you think you're gonna win that lotto twice. You don't hesitate to spend every dime. The stats bear this out. Mr. Right number 2 is not showing up, and you're gonna wind up in poverty land. Only a true can't understand normal thinker will think,
Hey, I could have $100 million for my entire life. Or I could take the $50 million right now.
that is a no-brainer. But the feminists, they don't have a brain. And the worst part about this, gentlemen, is this. Pour yourself a shot. I will wait because you are gonna need it. No matter how many times you debunk their bullshit. No matter how many times you prove everything they know is wrong, they're still gonna blame you. They will claim somehow that the society is unfair and there's some kind of institutional oppression.
What? Patriarchy, misogyny, pink tax.
Fuck off. You can lie to yourself all you want. You can scream to the high heavens that it's not your fault. And we dudes, we don't care. And we're not listening anymore. Less and less of us are willing to get married. That means more and more of you are gonna wind up in poverty, and that's all your fault. You were stupid enough to believe in an ideology that is a complete lie. And that is not just my opinion. It is objectively and logically provable that it's complete bullshit. Everything feminism has taught you, and all of the bullshit that you went into student debt for, is worthless. You went $125,000 into debt to get brainwashed. It's gonna take you 30 years to pay that off, and 40 years to pay off the mortgage because you wanted to have the upgraded bathroom so you could sit and read your goddamn feminism, Screen 5. And the best place to read feminism is on the toilet because that's where shit goes. And get yourself some of that heavy flow tampons because the bleeding is gonna be heavy. You know what else is heavy? A full bottle of Jim Honey. I couldn't find the Jack Apple, but here you go. And you bought this for us, gentlemen. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my black, dead, maggot-ridden heart. But we're still on the hunt for some Jack Apple. And if you're feeling generous, links below, Patreon, PayPal, Maker support. It doesn't really matter how much, but every little bit helps. And while we're at it, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so we can outmaneuver YouTube. And if you don't, I shall come over there and give you the proper adjustments. I'm a heathenistic bastard, and I have a lot of goddamn fucking beads here. That means I want to see a lot of titties. I want to see big ones, I want to see small ones, I want to see floppy ones, I want to see ones that wrap around your head, especially the ones that wrap around this head.
Or this head.
Or that one, the only one my woman's not looking.